What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Realistic Career Mode with Wrexham. This is episode number 8. As we see the emails here, Sligo Rovers aren't happy that Luke McNicholas, easy for me to say, isn't getting enough game time, which is absolutely correct. He just hasn't really been in my plans at all. So they're saying that they'll probably take him back from his loan deal if he doesn't play. That is no skin off my back. We're coming off the out of episode 7, and we're hitting some really inconsistent form. Lost to Tranmere, drew with Stanley after we were 2-0 down, and then won in the cup, which was a nice distraction from our poor league form. But you can't avoid the truth, and the truth is that we're 13th at the moment, 4 points adrift of the playoff spots. And don't forget, the board obviously want me to win the league. So plenty of time to turn it around, but we need to start turning it around soon. And, well, the games don't come easier. We've got Forest Green in our first game of today's episode. Third in the league are Rovers. After their relegation last season from League One, they're flying high, looking to bounce back up. And they're obviously led up the top now by Troy Deeney, the former Watford striker, in the twilight of his career. He's a really, really great character. And, I think he's a great signing for Forest Green. Hopefully he doesn't lead them to anything today, though. We're looking to bounce back with our own top man, Paul Mullin, up top, league top scorer with 12 goals. A striker who has been at the other end of scoring, Ollie Palmer, who's not really getting a look in at the moment. The games that I tried him in the early stages, he just wasn't a good fit for me. I just didn't enjoy playing him. He's obviously a big man, meant to be a target man, but I felt like we didn't utilise him enough. And yeah, he was a big signing from Wimbledon a few years ago, dropping down into non-league at the time when he signed for Wrexham, but he just hasn't suited my style of play at all. As we see here, his replacement, I guess, Stephen Fletcher, gets absolutely wiped out. This was, I mean, if you were to have orange cards, that would be a hit, because that was a crunching tackle through the back of him. Elliot Lee can't convert from the free kick or the rebound. And so we kick on with 5 minutes to go before the break. And William Boyle has slid in now. And, well, the tempers are rising a little bit. He was late on Morton, so I assume it will be a yellow cards. And wait, what? He's been sent off for that. The tackle that they put in just a few moments ago was a million times worse than that. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I mean, that's a bit crazy to me that Boyle's just been sent off for that when their player got a yellow card for arguably a worse tackle. I don't want to touch on it too much, but I think some of the reffing in this game is a bit inconsistent. Some tackles that shouldn't be bookings are bookings. Some tackles that aren't that bad apparently red cards. It's crazy to me. Anyway, Boyle's off and we're down to 10 men, as if this challenge wasn't hard enough. We're now having to do it with a man less. We bring on Matthews, the Youth Academy graduate. He comes on for Fletcher. Mullin will play a lone striker. Well, obviously we had to be a bit more defensive, and in the second half we would actually take the lead. Elliot Lee with the 7th league goal of the season, heading in home from a great header cross from Mendy. We are really nailing these corners at the moment. This season we've started off so strongly. The delivery is wicked, and we're getting some good headers in on goal. Well, 5 minutes to go before the end. The fullback, Barnett, would be bombing on again. He would find Paul Mullin, and the striker would wrap up what is an incredible victory, by the way, against third place away from home, and then down to 10 men for half the game. We've gone on to score 2 goals and win. And honestly, I'm very, very proud of this team. That is a character-building result. It's results like that against the odds that really define a season and help build a cohesion with the team, which has not been there in recent episodes and recent weeks. But today I saw it. The team worked together. They worked hard. They grinded out the result. And even with a lesser man, they managed to see the game out and score a couple of goals. And the ref would blow for full time, and it'd be a clean sheet as well, which was nice for Okonkwo. Much needed confidence booster for him as well. Elliot Lee and Paul Mullin's second half goals give us a victory in this one, which will definitely help not only our confidence, but will boost our league positioning as well. We've dropped down out of the playoff spots, and we're looking to bounce back now. And I feel like, last episode, the results got a bit inconsistent. The last few episodes, the results have been a bit inconsistent. I just want to find a bit of consistency. That's all I want. As we see here, William Boyle, 1 game suspension. I thought it'd be 3 games for a straight red, but apparently not. Stephen Davis comes to us and says that he needs some game time. And do you know what? When we first brought him in, I thought he'd be more impactful, but he hasn't been great. And Belaber's taken his position in that right centre mid spot. As we see the table here, we're 10th, 3 points away from Salford, who are in 7th, as we are prepared to take on Doncaster in the second game of today's episode. And it would be a battle of the 2 top league scorers as well. Mullin versus Miller, 13 goals versus 9. Doncaster 2 places and 3 points behind us. As we make 1 change to the side that beat Forest Green, Matthews is in at left centre-back, replacing the suspended Boyle. Coming back to the racecourse, your home is meant to be where you can create an absolute force at home, and you are impossible to beat. That's the hope, that's the dream, and that's the expectation really, because it should be harder to win on the road, but that hasn't been the case for us. We have lost our last 2 league games at home. We've lost 4 at home altogether, and we're coming off the back of a good result away from home. Hopefully we can make it 2 wins from 2 and find some of that form that we've been after. Doncaster, though, looking decent as well, looking like a tough outfit. Well, 16 minutes in, it would be the visitors who would have the first chance, and it would be Miller, their top scorer, but he is denied by Okonkwo. Great save from the Arsenal loanee. And then we get to work down the other end. Mendy and Lee linking up. Mendy finding Lee again, who finds Ford. What a finish from one end to the other. Doncaster had the first chance of the game. They could have gone 1-0 up. They are 1-0 down. Ford, well, we spoke about how important our tactical vision is of wing play. Ford and Mendy both involved. Mendy bombing on down the left. Ford ends up with the goal. And that is that's it summed up perfectly. Our tactical vision is wing play, and we used our wings to our advantage there. And just before the half-hour mark, we would make it 2-0 once again, scoring from a corner. Evans' deliveries have been fantastic, and O'Connell gets his first goal of the season, joining Ford with their first tallies of the campaign. Which is before half-time. Hurst, I think this is George Hurst, is he on loan from Ipswich, I believe. He bags a goal to half the deficit. Okonkwo not covering himself in glory with that one. Should have saved it, but going into the half-time break, we would be 2-1 up. And then we will make a couple of changes. Cannon subbed on with just over 10 minutes to go. From the goal kick, we work the ball well. Out wide, Stephen Davis finds Ford. Ford in behind to Mullin. Mullin, little dinked ball, and there's Cannon off the bench. And this guy's found his scoring boots recently. Got a brace against Sutton in the Cup. Now has a goal here. We've been giving him a couple of chances off the bench, and he has taken them. Cannon restores our 2-goal lead. Makes it 3-1, and that would be full time. 2 games, 2 wins. What a way to respond after some inconsistent form. It looks like we're finally settling now, and that is 2 wins from 2. And good impressive wins as well. Very different wins. The Forest Green game, we were down to 10 men for a half, playing away from home against a really good Forest Green side. We managed to battle and fight, and it was about team spirit and determination there. This game, we just showed our class. We took charge of this game from the first minute and overcame Doncaster, and we're now up to 9th. It's very tight, this midfield and playoff pack at the moment. We've only got up 1 spot. We are into 9th now, but only a point off Harrogate in 7th place. As before the third and final game, we see some scout reports and a couple of Morrises we signed actually from the Welsh scouting report. Ryan Morris, who looks like a decent little winger / midfielder. He could be pretty good. 17 years old. We sign him into our youth academy. And then the second Morris is, as we look for a few players here, we actually send a few players away. Obviously, this is only the only scouting report we're getting now. The American and Canadian ones ran out after 3 months. Lee Morris is the second Morris that we signed from this youth scouting report. Good little attacking option potentially. So we get Lee and Ryan into the youth academy, and then we actually promote them straight away. As they're both 17, we promote them both. We promote them both straight away, and we'll put them both up for loan. See if we can get them some game time between now and the end of the season. Then hopefully they can come back a little bit more seasoned. But yeah, the Morrises, they might be brothers, they might not, who knows? But they look decent. As Baleba looks to be back to his sharpest apparently, so we're going to change his training plan to a balanced format. We were focused on performance beforehand. We're going into the third and final game. It would be Salford in the first round of the FA Cup. Salford actually unbeaten in October, 2 wins and 2 draws, all 4 of those league fixtures. They're 11th in the league and 1 point behind us in that tight pack in the middle. So this is obviously a competition where the board want us to reach the last 16. That was one of the objectives. So hopefully we can go through here today. We have already lost to Salford this season. Sorry, I just wanted to show this tackle as well. That tackle, we'd spoke about earlier about tackles being inconsistent and, bookings, non-bookings. That tackle was so late and with no intent to win the ball, and he hasn't even got booked, and yet I got sent off. Boyle got sent off for that slide tackle on the halfway line. I just feel like the consistency is off at the moment. Anyway, back into this game. We made a lot of changes, 8 subs in all. O'Connell, Evans and Mullin all keep their space. Stephen Davis captains the side, and Lainton gets his first minute in goal. The Youth Academy graduate Ryan Morris is on the bench and could make his senior debut. Well, Lainton wouldn't be showering himself in glory here. Two shots that he could have saved. The second one for sure he definitely should have done better with. It wasn't even in the bottom corner. And then that was the first one. The second one, he comes out and then he's in no man's land, and Salford get their second. And this was all just after our fullback McLean scored, but his shot was offside. Well, 10 minutes to go before the final whistle, before we're dumped out of the cup, as Paul Mullin does get us back into this game with a beautiful strike. But it wouldn't to be. Morris comes on for a senior debut, but we couldn't create that final chance. And actually, it was Salford who had the last chance of the game. Lainton making a save, which you would expect him to make. But that would be it for the second time already this season. Salford have beaten us, and we are out of the FA Cup. And that's going to cause damage. The board's expectations was for us to reach the round of 16 in this tournament, and we are out at the first stage. I guess it means that we can focus on the league. Obviously, we are still in the EFL trophy, but the league is our priority. I've said that from minute one, but when we're not even, we're kind of outside the playoffs, there's no real excuse now. So hopefully in the next few episodes we can string some results together. We won the 2 league games in this episode, to be fair, so we are finding a bit of form. Hopefully we can continue that as we enter November's fixtures. You'll see there Gillingham is our first game of next episode. But that'll be it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like if you're enjoying the series, and I'll catch you in episode 9 very soon.